You know how you know when the liberals are beat and in full-blown panic mode? When they got nothing, but they try to make it something.
Silence of the Lambs. Has anyone ever seen The Silence of the Lambs? The late, great Hannibal Lecter. He's a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner as this poor doctor walked by. I'm about to have a friend for dinner, but Hannibal Lecter. Congratulations, the late, great Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, over the weekend in New Jersey, in New Jersey, of all places, praising a fictional serial killer.
Yes, Donald Trump, the leader who would be worse than Hitler reincarnated, is now celebrating a fictional serial killer, Hannibal Lecter. That was reverberating all weekend on the Lying Legacy Corporate Corrupt mainstream news channels, as well as publications like The Atlantic and other liberal publications over the weekend after Donald Trump made that comment. And of course, they took it totally out of context and they didn't understand something called, sarcasm.
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth.
Hi, I'm Pastor Marty. Welcome to the Afternoon Drive. Please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and once you are, smack the bell, click the word all. That'll give you notification of my rants, my ravings, and my undeniably flawless reasonings. Please like and share this video. That's the only way that we get the word out that we're here. Thank you so much for being part of the Afternoon Drive. Well, Donald Trump held his biggest rally ever in, of all places, Deep Blue, New Jersey. You gotta wonder what Krispy Kreme Christie thought of that. Estimates of the crowd are somewhere between 80 to 100,000. And of course, the media at first tried to lie about that. You know, they show you some pictures of the event 5 hours before Donald Trump is scheduled to get there, when it's just a couple of thousand people. And this is not a massive crowd, blah, 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 blah. But once the pictures really began to overtake the internet and go viral, you know, people there with their drones taking the overhead shots, even the Lying Legacy Corporate Corrupt mainstream media could no longer try to lie and suppress the numbers. I mean, pretty close to 100,000 people in New Jersey, Wildwood, New Jersey, showed up to hear Donald Trump. And of course, Donald Trump, you know, saying we're going to make a play for New Jersey. Now, some people say he really shouldn't, but there are some states that that are blue strongholds that he could. You know, he could take Virginia, he could take New Hampshire, he could make a play for Maine. I personally think Donald Trump is going to run the board on election night. I really, really do. I don't think that's hyperbole. It's not just wishful thinking. I'm telling you, he's going to take New York. And the Democrats don't see this coming, and they're not going to be ready for it. You talk about people who are going to be, you know, need to be placed on special watch so they don't hurt themselves. It's going to be the Democrats on election night, because there are going to be places that they just assume is such a lock that they don't have to worry about it, take it seriously, and Donald Trump is going to absolutely run away with it. The people of New York, especially New York City, they're sick and tired of the crime. Nothing works. Everything is costing beyond any reasonable expectation. The stores are leaving. The crime is out of control. The migrant, vagrant invaders get everything handed to them. Their own kids can't go to school because they got to use those buildings for these non-tax-paying illegals who aren't even supposed to be here. And the American people are sick of it. New Yorkers are sick of it. And upstate New York is sick of that witch on wheels, their governor, Kathy Hochul, who doesn't even think black kids know what a computer is. That's what a racist she is, and a libloon maniac out of control she is. Fired 70,000 nurses during the so-called pandemic. Bottom line, I think the Northeast has had it. I think they've had it. I think they've had it. And we're going to see on election night what we have not seen since Reagan ran against Walter Mondale. We're going to see an absolute landslide, even in blue states. So, can Donald Trump take New Jersey? I think he can. I really do. I really do. I think the people there have had it. And the turnout was incredible. Now, as far as his Hannibal Lecter comment, again, it was sarcasm. Sarcasm.
They're emptying out their jails into the United States. They're emptying out their mental institutions into the United States, our beautiful country. And now the prison populations all over the world are down. They don't want to report that. The mental institution population is down because they're taking people from insane asylums and from mental institutions. You know what the difference is, right? An insane asylum is a mental institution on steroids. Silence of the Lambs. Has anyone ever seen the Silence of the Lambs? The late, great Hannibal Lecter is a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner. Is this poor doctor walked by? I'm about to have a friend for dinner, but Hannibal Lecter, congratulations, the late, great Hannibal Lecter. We have people that are being released into our country that we don't want in our country, and they're coming in totally unchecked, totally unvetted, and we can't let this happen. They're destroying our country, and we're sitting back, and we better damn well win this election, because if we don't, our country is going to be doomed.
So let me break this down. Let me explain it for our liberal friends, so maybe some of them can stop going into, over the top, psychotic meltdown. Hannibal Lecter, yes, a fictional character, said, "I'm having a friend for dinner." Now, him being a cannibal, we knew exactly what that meant when he said that. I'm having a friend for dinner. And the idea was, if you were a so-called friend of the doctor who seemed harmless, knowledgeable, conversational, easy to talk to, easy to engage in insightful conversation with, the kind of guy that you talk to and go, wow, he's so interesting, that you didn't see it coming. What coming? That, he was going to kill you and eat you. And Donald Trump is making that comparison about all of these tens of millions of illegals that are pouring into our country. Biden is flying them in. Biden is allowing them to boat in. Biden is allowing them to walk in, all in the name of Donald Trump, didn't allow these asylum seekers in, and then, COVID happened, and then this happened, and we got to welcome these people. To the tune of, we have about 30 million illegals here right now. Are they all friendly? Or could there be some Hannibal Lecters among them? That was the point Donald Trump was trying to make. That if you don't have a vetting system in place, that if you're not actually thoroughly screening the people coming in, then you have no idea who or what is crossing the border. And we're inviting these people in, allowing them to come in, turning a blind eye and not stopping them from coming in, all with this liberal fairy tale nonsense that they're all just here for a better way of life. And I am sure there are people that are coming that would love to have a better way of life. There are a lot coming because, well, they're going to get stuff. And they are going to take advantage of the system. They will, forgive me for saying it this way, they will rape the system and get what they can. But there are certainly criminals coming in. There are certainly people with all types of mental issues, killers, psychotics, serial nuts coming in. And I understand we have those of our own. And that's the whole point. We got all we can deal with our own. We don't need to be importing more. But when you have no vetting system in place, anyone, anything can get in. That was the point. Donald Trump was doing something that we call hyperbole, which is an over-exaggerated illustration to make a point. So for the lying legacy corporate corrupt mainstream media to now say Donald Trump supports cannibalism and that Hannibal Lecter, an evil fictional villain, is a hero and someone that Donald Trump admires, is at best is stupidity on their part, that they don't understand the nuance of sarcasm. And at worst, it is just them flagrantly, outright just lying, which is what they do to you every day. Denzel Washington had it right when he said, if you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. If you watch the news, you're misinformed. You know, we're in a we can't win situation. I love watching some of these liberals, even like Chris Cuomo over on Patrick Bet-David's show, you know, now try to walk back the things that he said and the part that he had in all the COVID madness. We didn't know. We were in groupthink. And he still won't come out and call Fauci the maniac that he is, and none of this should have been political. And shut up, Chris. Until you look the camera in the eye and say to all of us that you lied, you were a part of the problem, you're sorry. Yeah, I don't need to hear any of your so-called analysis. And Patrick Bet-David, shame on you for giving that guy a platform of any kind. That all said, Donald Trump, poised to take the Northeast, poised for a landslide like you can't believe. And the liberals know it. And they know that these court proceedings are backfiring and blowing up big time. And the time to switch out Joe Biden is fast approaching. Otherwise, that train really is going to leave the station.